Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a long overdue empties video for you guys today. Kind of going through some candles that I have finished from sort of like spring through now. So fall transition, spring through summer. And even though it kind of feels like there's a lot here today, because it's such a wide time frame, I really didn't get through as much as I should have per season. A lot of my summer candles I just tucked back away into storage. So yeah, I really need to start getting better about how much I'm buying and you know, how much I'm getting through, but I guess that's a problem for another day. Today, I really need to get these candles out of my house, so I said, let me hop on here. We'll do an empties video and kind of get these cleared up once and for all. For those that don't know, when I finish my candles, instead of burning down to the very, very end, usually I will finish my jars in a candle crock, which is kind of like a candle warmer. And I do have a video about that I will link in the description of this video for those who aren't familiar with that. I was informed recently that Boscov's apparently doesn't sell candle crocks on their website anymore, so some of that information I might have to update, but yeah, that's how I finish my candles. So if they don't look like they're empty, it's because I finished them in a candle crock. And because all of the candles I have here today just happen to be Kringle candles, I thought I would also throw in a little bit of a chit chat portion to this video. I will timestamp this video, so if you're just here for the empties, you can kind of just skip through to what you're interested in. But I wanted to take a minute in this video to kind of clarify something that I had said at the end of, I think it was my Bath and Body Works video recently, to the effect of, because I'm a Kringle candle ambassador, my channel tends to be Kringle heavy, and I didn't realize at the time how that could kind of be misunderstood or taken the wrong way. So I wanted to just clarify, because I have some new folks following me these days, and I just want to kind of be very open and honest with you guys, how I run things here on my channel, and what you can expect from me. So what I meant when I said that because I'm an ambassador, my content ends up being Kringle heavy, it's not to mean that as an ambassador, I'm just here to kind of force candles on you and always be selling you something or anything like that. That's not my sole motivation here. And hopefully, if you've been following my reviews, if you, you know, you're a longer time subscriber and you've seen my content, you understand that I don't love everything. I try to be very honest and give you my opinions. I give you pros and cons, who might like something, who might not like something. This is not, you know, I'm not just here to constantly be selling you guys something. What has kind of happened though is that because I don't have as much time and money to devote to this little hobby as I would like, me being an ambassador, when they do send me PR, I have an obligation that comes with that. I know a lot of people, you hear ambassador and you think of the perks and the free candles, and it's great. But when they send me free candles, it comes with that, you know, kind of understanding that I'm going to promote them with, I'm going to burn them, I'm going to share content, I'm going to get information out there for you guys, especially ahead of a launch, you know, to help you in that manner. That's the role of the ambassador. It's not just to sell candles. So when they send me something, like for example, over the summer, they sent me 12 Halloween candles. So what happened? Everything that I had kind of already planned to burn and maybe review over the summer on my already very tight schedule, that all went to the back burner. And I had to focus on the Halloween candles because we have a launch coming up and they all need to be burned. They take a lot of time to burn. I burned at least 25 hours or more for each of those Halloween candles. So that's time. And then filming content. For those of you who watched, I was pretty much filming in the middle of the night for the most part. So I was trying to squeeze it all in. And that really didn't leave much time to do any other candle brands, any other reviews. And it just worked out that pretty much my only content this summer was Kringle. And so that's kind of what tends to happen. So, and as far as PR goes, a lot of you have been asking me recently, you know, if I got PR and if I'm going to have more reviews, and you guys are so sweet. I am not one of the top ambassadors. Kringle works on a system where the top 5 selling ambassadors, they are, you know, consistently getting the PR. So the ones that you see having PR, pretty much every launch, it's because of sales. So the rest of us, and there's a whole lot of the rest of us in this group, we're all in a lottery system. So how it works is, you know, they put us all in a pool, and, you know, they pick so many people every time, and, you know, once you're picked, you're out of the pool for the next round until everybody has gotten a turn to receive something. And then once everyone's gotten a turn, they reset it and it starts all over again. So I think this year I got the Easter candles in PR, and then I think the next round was Halloween. So, you know, there's time between them. So that brings me to the other reason of why I'm Kringle heavy here. Because I'm only being sent PR like kind of in certain intervals there, that means the rest of the year I am buying them out of pocket. So as a mom on a budget, that tends to eat up a lot of my budget and leaves less for other brands. So, you know, as an ambassador, if you want to have relevancy, you kind of had to have the new content, the new things coming out. I could probably film dozens of videos based on reviews of candles that have been around for a while. But you guys keep coming to me looking for the information on the new stuff coming out. So, you know, for me, I feel like if I have nothing to share with you guys, I kind of, you know, what do you need me for? So I feel this sort of internal pressure to always be buying something new to have to share with you guys. So that's where my budget ends up going most of the time. I am trying very hard to start incorporating some other brands. I made that little small business series recently where I purchased from 3 different small businesses, and, you know, I want to keep stuff like that going. I almost ordered from Goose Creek, but then my budget for that ended up going into the fall reserves coming out from Kringle and the holiday lineup, because I bought 3 reserves and all of the holiday candles. So, you know, that ate up a lot of my budget. So that's what I mean when I say, because I'm an ambassador, it ends up being very Kringle heavy here, and it's really nothing, nothing nefarious. It's nothing, you know, ill-intentioned. That's just kind of how it works out. I have a little bit more time for filming now that my kids are both in school full time. So, you know, if you've noticed, I'm starting to ramp up a little bit more with my content. But that being said, I have a very busy schedule outside of this. So, you know, I'm still just squeezing this in when I can. And, you know, if I don't get to something that I purchased, it's not a big deal. Whereas if Kringle sends me something and I don't get to it, or I don't share the information before a launch and then it sells out, you know, it's a little bit more time sensitive. So, you know, that's kind of why I prioritize my Kringle stuff over other brands. And I hope you guys can understand that. And yeah, that's, I think that's all I need to say on this subject. If you guys ever have any questions, you know, none of this is a secret. I know other ambassadors have shared, you know, how it works with Kringle as well. And I am not complaining. I want to be very clear. I am not complaining about not getting PR every single time. That is okay with me, because honestly, the pressure of receiving PR at that frequency would probably do me in. I take it very seriously. I know you guys like my little scenes when I do my reviews. That takes a lot of time. And if I was constantly under that pressure, I don't know if this would continue to be as fun for me, you know, if I had to constantly be under that pressure. So, you know, I am not complaining. I'm okay with purchasing things as I want to, as I see fit, purchasing things that I feel like I'll be able to talk to you guys about, things I'll be able to make comparisons for, and, you know, make reviews that will be relatable. So I'm okay with that, and I'm certainly not complaining, but I do appreciate it when they do send stuff, and I try to make the most of it. So hopefully you guys can understand where I'm at with that and why my channel kind of works out this way. And, you know, I'm a very slow growing channel, and I almost find that when I do non-Kringle related content, I actually don't have as much traffic here as when I do. So it's just kind of worked out that way. So with that said, let's get into the empties portion of our video here today. I've got a lot to get through, and I've kind of like separated them like spring-ish, or things I burned in the spring, up to the more presently finished candles. Okay, so we will start with, I have 2 country candles here, and then most of the rest are 3 wicks. I have 1 wax melts and 1 4 wick. So we'll start with the country candles. I think most of you have heard by now. If you haven't, the country candle line has been discontinued, and so there's been some deep discount sales over the last year as they clear out the remaining inventory, but that's why you're not seeing new country candles coming out each season. They have been discontinued. So the 2 that I have here today are still available and on sale for I think $12.40. They're at a pretty deep discount right now for the Labor Day sale that is wrapping up. I think this is the last weekend. But if you are interested in either of these 2, the first is Warm Cinnabuns. This one, the notes here, I don't actually know, this one doesn't have notes. This one has been around for a while. This came out, I think, 2 or 3 falls ago. And this is one of my favorites. I talked about this here on my channel before in the buy one get one video I did earlier this year. This is a sort of, it's a very sweet take on a cinnamon bun. And this, I repurchased another large jar, and I've been tempted to grab one more. I'm really kind of hoping that this one makes it over into the regular Kringle lineup. They are going to be transitioning some of the country scents into the Kringle jar format. This is, I know it's, those who love it really love it. I know some didn't like it as much, but I happen to really love it. Is it a true, authentic cinnamon bun? No, not necessarily. This is much sweeter than a traditional cinnamon bun. This is more like creamy frosting, sweet focused. There's a little bit of a yeasty quality to the cinnamon bun here. There's also a hint of a maple note in there as well. For me, the spices are a little bit more subdued, a little bit more cinnamon towards the background. It's not as strong on cinnamon as some of the like cinnamon bun candles out there. But this one, I just really like it. It's very much an anytime scent for me. I enjoy it in my home, especially on like Sunday afternoons where we're just kind of chilling. This one burned very clean, and no wick issues whatsoever. I really am missing this. I'm really missing new scents coming out in the country line because I enjoyed them. I feel like there was a lot more gourmands in the country line as well. So I'm gonna miss this one if it doesn't come back. Thankfully, I have one more jar. But that's Warm Cinnabuns. And then the other country candle that I have here, Glazed Berry Scone. This one, I did a YouTube short. I did like a quick review on this one during one of the last sales. The notes are cranberry, berry, soft spice, pastry, and sweet and maple. This one didn't impress me. Glazed Berry Scone. So this is like, it's not a very sweet bakery, but is a sort of gourmand scent. I get more berryness to it than the bakery tone. It's not like a heavy bakery. So that's why I ended up burning this one more in the spring. Berries always seem to like, there is a lot of berry scents in the fall. I tend to like berry scents a little bit more in the spring. So that's when I burned this one the most. The scent itself is fine. Like I do like the scent. I get some cranberry here. I get a little blueberry. But the problem with this one was always the throw. It wasn't very strong. It was fairly non-existent. It had moments where it would kind of pick up the pace a little bit. I tried a hurricane. I mean, it burned very clean. There was no issues with the actual burn, but it didn't wow me. It wasn't making a really big impact in my home. So for me, there's a lot of berry scents out there and I've had better. So this was a one and done for me. But for the price that it's at right now, $12.40, if you like, you know, a little bit of cranberry mixed in with a blueberry note with a like soft bakery, I mean, you want to give it a try. I know some had luck with it, so maybe it was just me. So maybe it's worth trying at 12 bucks, you know, for you. But yeah, for me, one and done. That was enough of berry scone. Keeping it going with another bakery scent, I finished a 3-wick of Donut Worry. this packaging was cute. I haven't been like the biggest fan of all of the wraparound 3-wicks. Again, another format discontinued, so that's why we're not seeing more 3-wicks. They nixed the country candles, they nixed the 3-wicks and the medium jars. So we are rolling with now large jars, 4 wicks, and the daylights and the wax melts. So also, I've been picking up a lot of these on sale over the summer. I think there was a few different sales in like spring and summer of 3-wicks. So this one, Donut Worry, baked donuts, sweet sprinkles, slightly fruity, buttery, nutmeg, cinnamon, creamy, vanilla icing. I mean, this is a really nice donut scent. I had a large jar that I finished. I bought the 3-wick. I think I have another large jar in my storage area downstairs. Just a really pretty authentic donut scent. They say slightly fruity. It's not fruity in the sense of like being a strong dominant fruity note, but if you know, like icing almost sometimes takes on a just slightly fruity tone to it. It's kind of like that. A little bit of a nice sort of fluffy donut here. You do get a little bit of the spice, but it's not a spicy, spice heavy donut fragrance. It really just kind of focuses more on the donut note with a little bit of icing. The 2-wick is not the strongest. I had okay strength for my 2-wick, but I wanted to try the 3-wick, and it was slightly better with that extra wick in there. So this is something that I would consider probably grabbing in a 4-wick next time once I finish what I have on hand. But I mean, it was okay. No burn issues. I'm gonna miss the burn of these 3-wicks. Unlike other brands, I really haven't had much issue with Kringle's 3-wicks. They're 100% soy, so I don't know if that's the reason. I tend to have more problems with the soy blend 3-wicks out there. So yeah, this one burned fine, burned clean. Finished it off of my crock, and I think I got like another day or two of scent with about, I don't know if you can kind of tell, probably just around an inch, maybe a little less than an inch of wax left. So this was good. I'm glad I have another one, and yeah, if I buy it again, probably a 4-wick. All right, the next one is another one and done for me. This was Berry Citrus Bloom. This was from the Easter lineup. We're not going to talk about it much because it's not available anymore, and I really don't see this one coming back again. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but this one, Berry Citrus Bloom, I reviewed here because this is the original one that was sent to me over the from the Easter collection, and the notes are red berries, orange, rose, jasmine, freesia, geranium, musk, sandalwood, patchouli, and amber. All that to say, sort of a fruity floral type of fragrance. Very wearable sort of scent. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I actually found it to be sort of a nice bathroom scent. So if you're, you know, have this in your collection, I almost dropped it. If you have this in your collection, like, and you like bubble baths, this is kind of like a nice bubble bath candle to me, but yeah, it's really not in my wheelhouse, but I liked it enough to finish it off. A lot of times, if there's something that's not in my wheelhouse that I have to review, you know, I'll burn it enough to review it, and then it ends up just sitting. So this one I liked enough to just kind of finish off. But yeah, that was Berry Citrus Bloom. Not sure if this one will be back or not, but either way, it's not available anymore. Strength was fine. It took a little while to get going, but it did get going. Probably like in the medium frame. So yeah. Just okay, but one and done. I repurchased several of the Easter ones, and this was not one of them. Next, I grabbed the one wax melt I have in the pile. This was Charred Pineapple. This one I bought to kind of sample, test the waters. I love pineapple scents, but I find that I like more of a pineapple that's like kind of creamy, a little bit more of a gourmand pineapple rather than a fruity pineapple. But this one I just wanted to sample, and not something that I would end up purchasing a candle of. It was okay. This is a different take a little bit on a pineapple candle than anything I have in my collection. It's sort of a fresh pineapple, but there's a little bit of a greenness to it. I don't have the notes for this one in front of me, but sort of fresh pineapple with a little bit of a green-like quality to it. I melted this kind of in my entryway a little bit, and the strength was okay. I would say kind of a medium. I didn't get any sort of charred quality to it. I think some of the people that reviewed the candle said they got a little bit of a charredness to it. So I don't know. Sometimes the scents are a little bit different. Warming versus burning. Sometimes certain notes will come out a lot more in a wax melt versus a candle. So just something to be aware of, guys. But yeah, this one just, it was fine. It just didn't impress me enough to want to go back and buy a candle of it. But that was Charred Pineapple. All right, the next one has become a bit of a fan favorite over the last couple of years, ice cream sandwiches. Another sort of cuter label. Ice cream sandwiches. This is my second time with ice cream sandwiches. I reviewed a large jar of it when it came out originally that spring over on Instagram, not here on YouTube. So if you were following me, I can always, I don't know, can I link a post in here? I'll see if I can link a post in here, but I reviewed it on Instagram, and I had said how this was one that took a little bit of time for me to warm up to. At first, the note of, I think it's ruby chocolate. Let me read you the notes. Rainbow sprinkles, sea salt, macadamia nuts, ice cream, ruby chocolate, cotton candy, vanilla milkshake, toasted coconut, and tonka bean. Yeah, at first, like, the chocolate quality was not really very pleasant to me. Sometimes when I get new fresh pours to review, what I feel like happens is sometimes the oils haven't really totally settled into the wax, and sometimes certain notes will be a little bit more prominent than they are intended to be at first until it really has time to kind of settle into itself. And I feel like that kind of happened with this one, where at first I wasn't totally loving it, but then the more it burned, it really started to grow on me. And it's more of like a toasted coconut sort of milkshakey sort of candle to me than an ice cream sandwich. Although I feel like with the 3 wick, I did get a little bit of a cookie-like tone at times. So, you know, maybe like the extra wick, just giving it a little bit more. But this one burned great. I had no issues with this. And I did end up going back and buying a 4 wick over the, I think it was like towards the end of the spring, early summer. And I had planned to like have that be sort of my primary candle to burn this summer. And then I ended up burning Halloween all summer. So I'm not complaining. I loved the Halloween. So it's still sitting in the box. I didn't actually get to it, but I did in fact repurchase it for a second time. And I enjoyed this one. I really like coconut. So you have to like coconut, I think, to like this one. The toasted coconut is really nice to me. It was very nostalgic. I grew up near a Peter Paul factory, which, if you don't know, is the company that made Mounds and Almond Joy. And when we would drive by and they were making the coconut, like, it was a very distinct toasted creamy coconut smell that would kind of fill the air. And so that's what it ended up kind of bringing me back to. So maybe that's why I love it so much. But yeah, a good scent. I know a lot of you guys like it as well, but that is ice cream sandwiches. Next, I have Yuzu Sage, which was from the spring summer line this year. And I didn't buy this one originally when I ordered my first round. The sage name in here really kind of scared me off. I was thinking this is going to smell kind of along the lines of Sage and Citrus from Yankee, or, you know, I think there's a few different versions of that out there. I think even Kringle had one for a while. I don't know if they still do, but yeah, I thought it was going to be a little too much like that. There's a note in here that scared me off as well, but then everyone was talking about how wonderful this was. And when they had one of the 3 wick sales, I said, I really don't like this 3 wick packaging. This is not me at all. Even though I love green, this for me, this isn't it. But I said, you know what? Everyone's talking about, let me try it. So the notes are yuzu, eucalyptus, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin, mint, ginger, peach, apricot, musk, coconut, kiwi, and watermelon. Ironically, sage isn't anywhere in that, so I don't know where that name came from. I really feel like it wasn't the best name choice for this one, but it is a really nice scent that really surprised me. The other thing that kind of made me nervous was anytime I see grapefruit in a scent note listing, I get nervous. maybe it's a me thing, but I know others have told me this is true for them as well. But citrus, specifically grapefruit, sometimes will come across to my nose as sort of a like body odor type of aroma, not something you want burning in your house. And like, it's one of those things where if it doesn't hit you right, once you smell it, you can't unsmell it. So anytime I see grapefruit, I get a little bit nervous. But this was nice. This is a very sort of fresh, citrusy forward scent. I didn't end up reviewing it. I had intended to review it again this summer, but I gave priority to the Halloween candles. But the wick is kind of off to the side just because I finished it in my candle crock, but it burned fine. It didn't move that far on its own. Very clean. And I found this was a really nice sort of like, maybe you have some unexpected guest coming over soon and you want to light something up really quick to kind of make your house smell a little bit fresher, a little bit more clean. This was kind of like one of those type of candles for me. I burned it a lot through the hotter summer days where I wanted something just kind of bright and fresh and just kind of liven up that sort of heavy, humid air. But really nice. I don't get as much grapefruit as I worried I might. It's just kind of nicely blended. Do get some of that lemon. It's not heavy on the eucalyptus, but it does have a sort of like pop to it from it. But yeah, I like this one. I would probably buy it again, maybe in a 2-wick. The strength was good on this one. It didn't blow me out of the house, but it was noticeably like a noticeable medium. So I feel like the 2-wick would probably be similar. I don't think I would go for it in a 4-wick. I don't love it that much. But yeah, I would probably buy it again in a 2-wick. So that is Yuzu and Sage. And, you know, let me know, did you pick this one up? Did you enjoy this one? Because I feel like everyone was like talking about this one from that lineup this year. All right, I've got one more summer candle here and then the first of my sort of fall transition scents. But first here, Gingerlily and Palm. This is another one that I picked up on a sale, 3-week sale, I think in the spring. And Kringle has had this in their like core line for a very long time. I don't remember exactly when this one came out, but it's been around for years and I've always been curious, but kind of like argued against it. I wasn't really sure if it was going to be my type, but recently I've been feeling like I've been stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit more with Kringle and, you know, being happy with the results. So I said, for the price, let's try it finally once and for all. And I really liked this like palm leaf wraparound design. So I tried it and it really paid off. The notes here, ginger lily, sparkling citrus, acai berry, lush greens, pineapple, palm leaves, and white musks. This one, I will add a little disclaimer. I might have a little bit more sentimental attachment to it now because I burned this the night before we left for vacation. So this summer we took our first vacation in like 5 years as a family. And the week before we left, we were driving down to Florida from up here on the East Coast here in Connecticut. And we had like nothing packed because my daughter had this softball tournament going on the whole week before. And it came time to, all right, we're leaving in the morning and nobody's packed anything. So mom stayed up all night packing, cleaning the house, getting everything ready. And I had this candle going and I was hoping it would kind of set the mood because it has a very sort of hotel lobby kind of vibe about it. And it absolutely did. So now when I smell this, I kind of just think about, you know, the excitement of kind of going away on vacation. We went to Universal Orlando. Kids absolutely loved it. It was a really great trip. So I'm getting a little bit more of a sentimental attachment to it, but I do really like the scent. I finished it when we came home in between my Halloween burns, and this is something I would buy again. I'm glad I tried it, and I'm sad that I waited so long. Very much a green scent. It's very fresh. There is a little bit of a floral quality, but it's not as floral as I feared. The greenery really kind of takes over a little bit more. It has a little bit of a fruitiness to it. I did share like a quick little post about this one to my community wall a while back, but yeah, very much like that hotel lobby sort of scent. I liked it. Some might find it a little bit sharp. There's something like a little bit slightly sharp or astringent about it, but for me, I get that more cold but burning. It's much nicer. So I liked it, and I would probably repurchase this again, probably I don't know, either a 2-wick, possibly a 4-wick. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this one. Gingerlily and Palm. So the last one here, last but not least, because now we're getting into my jam. I am a fall and holiday candle person. Spring and summer are fine, but they really aren't my types of scents. I am here for the fall and winter, Halloween, all of that. So I shared this one here on my channel a couple times. This is the very first 4-wick candle that I burned. This is Apple Cider Donut, a fan favorite. Again, also been in Kringle's Kringle Candles catalog for many years. This is one of the very first scents that I purchased when I discovered the brand back in, I don't know, 2017, maybe 2016, somewhere in that ballpark. But this is one of my all-time favorites, and this candle burned wonderfully. I did not clean this jar at all. I shared my first impressions of the 4-wicks when they came out here on my channel. I shared burn updates and a post-burn sort of review on this candle. So I will link all that in the description here. But like, I didn't clean this jar at all. I did longer burns, and I think the key is keeping an eye on your wicks and trimming your wicks. And you know, that's not to say that certain scents might have a little bit more sooty. They might, you know, be a little bit more dirty than others. It really, a lot of it depends on the oils, plus your burning habits. But I had no issues. You can see the wax is pretty clean. Just a tiny bit of like tinge of soot to it. But this was excellent. And I still have a 2-wick that I have, you know, going. It's partially burnt. And I will say I had a hard time being motivated to burn that one after burning this one. Is it phenomenally, remarkably stronger than the 2-wick? Not like, it's not like a huge difference, but it was a difference enough that I felt like I really got more enjoyment out of the 4-wick than I have in the 2-wick. And this is something that, you know, going forward, if I want to buy the scent again, which I will at some point, I will definitely be going for the 4-wick version over the 2-wick as long as it's available. But this is one of my favorites. Great transition scent. You've got the apple, you've got the donut here, and it's not a heavy gourmand. It's not a heavy donut. No, it's not heavily fried. But there is just that little bit of bakery there, but a little bit more towards that like appley, spice, cidery sort of range. And I just love this one. Apple cider, cinnamon, gourmand, maple, spice, sugar crystals. I don't really get much maple from this, to be honest. There is something that is like almost a little slightly sugary, candied sweet, almost like that, how you get the sugar on the outside of the donut, almost a little bit of that. But yeah, I love this one. And I felt like with the 4th wick, it was a little bit more nuanced overall versus the 2-wick. So my general enjoyment of the scent was better here. So I only have purchased one more 4-wick so far. Actually, no, I did pre-order 2 of the holiday line in 4-wick versions. So I've been going slow with the 4-wicks just because I don't have the most storage space left, as you might imagine. So these are, you know, pretty big, and I've been trying to not go overboard on the big candles because they do take me a while to get through. But yeah, I purchased the ice cream sandwiches candle that I mentioned before. Oh my gosh, I need to wrap this up. So ice cream sandwiches, and then 2 of the new holiday ones that I'll have in my preview video once those ship and get here. But yeah, I do like the 4-wicks, and I think they've been pretty popular with you guys. I'm really surprised they didn't do a Halloween 4-wick. That one really surprised me. But yeah, my first experience with it was a good one. And yeah, that's it. That's all I've got here. So as for what's coming up, I mentioned I'm still waiting for the shipping notice for my pre-order of the fall reserves. Those are kind of combined with the holiday candles that are coming out. I shared that to my wall as well if you're curious what I'm talking about, the new stuff that's coming from Kringle. And then I'm trying to think what else I have on deck. I think I'm also burning This is one of the Boo Crew. This is Little Devil. I bought 3 of the Little Boo Crew candles, so I've been kind of underway with my burning here. And once I have those ready, I will try to get those reviewed as well before they restock. I think they were looking at an October timeframe for a restock. So I've been working on burning those a little bit here and there. And I think that's about it. So I will keep you guys posted, you know, when things arrive. I think usually my filming days are during the week. I don't really get time to film during the weekends. So I don't know if those will ship either later today or next week. So, but once they get here, once they ship, I usually get them within a day or two because I live so close. So I'm hoping to have at least some sort of content on those before they launch on the 18th. Is it the 18th, I think? So before they launch on the 18th, I don't know if I'll have any sort of full reviews because there might not be enough time, but I will do my best, you guys. So that's what I've got here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I really hope you do. We're going to be kind of getting into fall content here a little bit more. I have some other things that I'm kind of toying with ideas. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here either way. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and take care of yourselves out there.